recommendations. And the first book on the list is Nancy and Plum by Betty MacDonald. Betty MacDonald of Mrs. Piggle Wiggle fame. This was a really sweet story that I think it was last year that I read it for the first time. And it's about two friends, Nancy and Plum, who are orphans, and they live in this dreadful, dreadful orphanage. And some Christmas magic happens and things are much better for them. And just, I loved their friendship, getting to see them together. And it's just such a sweet Christmas story. And the next one is Holiday by Gaslight by Mimi Matthews. This is a little sweet romance Christmas novella. And I think a lot of people said they felt some North and South vibes to it. There's some misunderstandings going on, but I love that it was so short and sweet. It felt so Christmassy. They're all staying at a house for Christmas together. And it was just exactly what I wanted out of a sweet romance Christmas novella. It was, it does what it says on the tin. And I think you will definitely not be disappointed if you enjoy sweet romance and you want some Christmassy fun. Definitely read Holiday by Gaslight. And then the next one is Skipping Christmas by John Gresham. So definitely switching gears here. This is so humorous. It's one that I read every few years. I never want to read it every year because I do worry like maybe it will lose its allure. But it's about this couple that they are just worn out by how expensive and how much of an ordeal they make Christmas. They always host a huge Christmas party. They send out so many Christmas cards, it gets very expensive. Just they do Christmas on way too big of a scale. So when they hear that their daughter is going to be away during Christmas time, he says, let's save our Christmas money and go on a cruise. And this outrages the community that they are in. There was a movie adaptation made of it called Christmas with the Cranks. I like that movie too. It's kind of one of those crummy Christmas movies that you enjoy. I love Tim Allen and I love Jamie Lee Curtis. So yeah, just really enjoyable, and the book is so fun. And then the next one on the list, and it is the Kindred Spirits Club December pick, is 101 Dalmatians. So this is one that it's not strictly a Christmas novel, but it ends at Christmas time, so I couldn't imagine reading it any other time of the year. This book is so wonderful. It is one of those animal books, and I'm not hugely into animal books. Like, there are books that I like that happen to be animal books, All Creatures Great and Small. And so I think I just didn't think I could love this as much as I do. But I mean, it is very much, especially the cartoon that Disney made is very similar to it. And so these puppies are stolen, and it's the lengths that their parents will go to get them back. And it's just written in such a charming way. And also the audiobook is excellent. It might be Martin Jarvis who reads it. I'm not sure, but so if you would like to join the Kindred Spirits Club, we will be discussing this on the 17th. That's what it is. And I cannot wait to see what others think. I hope they all love it because I've talked it up so much. And it says the classic tale of canine intrigue. And little known fact that Dodie Smith wrote this. She was inspired by a friend who came. Dodie Smith had a Dalmatian, and her friend looked at her Dalmatian and said, "Your dog would make a lovely fur coat." What a creepy thing to say to someone. So she inspired Cruella de Vil. The next one is my beloved Rosamund Pilcher, Christmas with Rosamund Pilcher. This is a little nonfiction book, and it is all about Rosamund Pilcher, how she and her family celebrate Christmas. I mean, look at this. The steep cliffs in northern Cornwall. And she starts writing Christmas cards in October and sending them out. Look at her being all classy there. And all of the recipes that they like to make. Then how she displays her Christmas cards. Here she is in the kitchen with her cute little apron. And then what's nice is there is a sweet little Christmas story. Oh my gracious, look at this Christmas tree. There is a sweet Christmas story in the end of it. It is not long, so you're going to don't think it's going to be, feel super complete. Here they all are all sitting around the table eating their Christmas dinner. So yes, just a really charming little nonfiction book. And if you love Rosamund Pilcher, you will enjoy this book. So highly recommend it. And then the next one that I want to recommend, and this is another one that it's not necessarily it's not like dripping in Christmas, but it ends on Christmas. And so the only time that feels right to read it is Christmas time. That is Mandy by Julie Edwards, aka Julie Andrews. This was written, I think, in the 70s, and look, here she is, Look at her. She was always so beautiful. She's still so beautiful now. I love Julie Andrews. And it's a little girl who lives in an orphanage, and she has always wondered what is over the stone wall at the back of the orphanage. And one day she climbs over the stone wall, and there is a little abandoned cottage that she finds. And so she fixes up this cottage, she gardens and spruces it up, and then she starts getting letters from a secret admirer at this cottage. It is very, very sweet. So if you like sweet, cozy reads, then you will enjoy it, but it is extremely sweet. But it's like just at the borderline for me of, too much sweetness, but I think it's just right. And I really recommend Mandy. And the next one that is not necessarily usually my kind of book, but it charmed me so much, and that is The Christmasaurus by Tom Fletcher. So this is all about William Trundle, who sometimes gets sad about the fact that he has to go around in a wheelchair. But then he meets this Christmasaurus, and they go on this marvelous adventure together. And I do love, the illustrations in here are so wonderful. So I know that I read this aloud to Peter several years ago, so maybe we'll read it again this year. It depends on if my voice can handle it. But he could read this independently. The only thing that I will say, if you're just giving this to a kid, there is a whole chapter in this book on how there's no such thing as absolute truth. And it's completely unnecessary. It's just it doesn't feel at all organic to the story. And so you want to go in knowing that if you're just going to hand it to a kid, that there is that conversation that happens in there. And then the next one is An English Murder. Where is it? Right there. An English Murder by Cyril Hare. I am very hard to please with Golden Age mysteries, and this is one that I absolutely loved. Christmas house party. Everyone's there. The pacing was just right. I think I also loved it because some of them I feel drag, and this is less than 200 pages. So I think that's the perfect length for a closed door mystery for me. It's before anything feels stale or stagnant. I love that length. Okay, then the next one is The Box of Delights by John Masefield. This is definitely in the supernatural, suspenseful Christmas reads. I love this book. I know that it's not for everyone. It gets very mixed reviews on Goodreads, but it's all about Kay Harker, who boards the train to go home for Christmas and finds two shifty characters on the train observing him. Are there pictures in this? I can't remember. There are a few pictures, and it's very adventurous. There's, no, I don't want to give too much away. It's just lots of unexpected things happen in it. And I love that about it. It's quite the page turner. Just very mysterious, set at Christmas time, and I really enjoyed it. So if you want something a little bit different for your Christmas reading, it's one that I think is really well known in the UK and not quite as much here. And then the next one is The Mistletoe Murders and Other Stories by P.D. James. This is fun, I think, for those who like mysteries, but maybe they don't want it too gruesome. P.D. James is a great author to read. And they're just short, to the point, Christmas mystery stories, and thoroughly enjoyable. So that is my second group of Christmas reading recommendations. I hope you are enjoying these and maybe even find something that you could read this Christmas time. Thank you as always for watching, and I will be back with another video soon. Bye.